about using Studio today and how we can create a video quiz using a video inside of Canvas's Studio application. So here I'm going to show you what I've done so far, and I've created an assignment with an existing video that I've placed inside my Studio library. Okay, and so once we click on the assignment, you'll see I've got some information here, and so this is after it's already been edited and put up, ready to go for students to take. And so, and I've already been messing around with one. It says you've already started this quiz. We've saved your progress. If not, you'd see that it had it would be take this quiz now. So here's what you see. I've given it a little bit of estimated time. That's a little bit of code you can do. It's kind of like a text box or a table. Here we have the details about the quiz. Some of this stuff is for the teacher only, so some of these things you're not going to be able to see. Like this tells me of all the people that have taken it. In this case, it's just me right now. What people, how long they've watched it, and things like that. So if you've taken it, it's going to show you results, but we'll get into all this later. So if I were to click on it, what would be, it's the video, and inside the video you're going to see the video play. You're also going to see so once the video starts to play, what you can see is you've got question marks. These question marks indicate that there's a question inside of the video. So let's skip ahead to these question marks. So in this case, once the video reaches one of those marks, it's going to show you, it's going to pop up a question, and the student's video is going to stop, and then they're going to have to answer the question before they can move on. Obviously, if they want to click ahead, they can totally skip the question, but once you're just letting it play through, the question is going to stop once they see that. This is a multiple choice question, right? So you can see I've entered the choices there and had them do it. It also gives you a chance to rewatch it. Okay, and I can click my choices and I can click continue. Let's show you how to create a quiz using Studio. So one of the things you're going to do is, so over here on the global navigation, not with inside your navigation inside the courses, but over here you've got a Studio tab here. So I'm going to click on that. That's going to take me to my library that I have created using Studio. Now this can include any videos that you've added through YouTube or any videos you've recorded live. I've added a few from YouTube. I've actually created some videos like it's a lesson, and then I've uploaded those to YouTube. Rather than storing it on my Canvas or inside Canvas, I'm going to put it on YouTube and just allow the YouTube to store that, to keep all that data there. But so once you're at this point, you can click on any one of your videos, right? So we can say, let's just pick, we'll pick this one, okay? In this example, I have a video that I've created, and I can choose to create quiz. And so once I've got this quiz, I can give it a title, right? So two-way tables. I can give it some instructions. Watch the vid and answer the questions. All right, and of course you can choose to hide your questions or not. Now this is those little question marks that pop up along the timeline. If you choose to hide those, the students won't know where the questions were, and so if they really don't want to spend the time doing it and they can click around to it rather than skip over it, just go straight to the questions, you can choose to hide that. If there's some really crucial information, I think I would be one to hide the question mark, so they were kind of forced to either watch the video or randomly click around. I'd hope that they would watch the questions. You get full data on every student, meaning that when they click through those videos, you're going to know exactly what they watched, how long they watched it. You'll get detailed results. You'll know if they watched the whole thing, if they just clicked around. That'll be evident from the insights you get from the video. Anyway, I'm going to choose to not hide them just so you can see that for the video, but know that you can hide those question marks to go along the timeline. Let's just get started. So what will happen is you'll click play. The video is going to play through, and at any point in time, you can pause the video, right? So I'm going to mute that. And so if you scroll along, let's just scroll to this point. I wanted to answer the questions here. So I can pause the video by either tapping the space bar or I can click inside the screen. Depends on which laptop you're using. Okay, and you'll see this plus sign pop up. Once you see that, it says, okay, you'd like to add a question. So click that. You'll be able to add one of three types of questions: multiple choice, true, false, or multiple answers, like select the following, which are, if there's several different answers you want them to pick from. Let's go with multiple choice. I'll choose this, and I can give them a question, right? So we'll say answer part A. And, of course, I'm just going to make up some numbers. So 12% is the correct answer. I don't even know. Let's say it's 4%. Let's say I wanted to give 4 different answers to make it interesting. We'll say 21%. And I can have my points vary by answer. I don't need that, but I can definitely see shuffling the answer choices so that every student comes by, oh, it's the first one, or it's A, or it's B, then they would always randomize where the correct answer is. I think that's quite useful. Something else that's very useful is the feedback. For correct answers, you could say good job. For incorrect answers, you can give them some tips on how to get that question right, or maybe even explain exactly how it was done or the correct way to do the question. They do have an option of rewatching a section if they wanted to, in case they didn't remember how to do it, so they can go back and rewatch it. But once, I believe you can answer the questions, you can even change your answers, but once you submit what's the very end, then your answers are locked in. And of course, the last one says general responses. So anytime they respond at all students are going to get this response. And you would click save. Okay, and that pops up a question, and I can continue this process, and I can add as many questions as I want to through this process. Okay, and so let's say we'll add another one here. Add a answer part E. All right, so we'll just make up some answers here. And we'll save that. Okay, so once you're done, you'll click done. Now this is not the video quiz. What we've done, I haven't actually implemented that in any way, shape, or form. But you can go up here, you can see that at the top, right here at the top left corner, you see that little rocket. That's a symbol for a quiz has been added here. So if you click here, I believe if you click on these 3 dots, now instead of just add quiz, it's going to say add a new quiz. You can add multiple quizzes for every video you have, so you can have level 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever you wanted to do. Or I could go back in and I could edit my original quiz. Now, how do I get this into my modules for my students? So at this point, I'm going to go over to I'm going to go to my class. So let's go into my course that I'm going to add the quiz to. So I'll click here, and I'm going to go into the modules. Now I could go to assignments, but I think modules is a great place because I want to make sure to put this quiz where it's supposed to go. Okay, and so what I can go down to, I can go and I can go into the correct location. So this is going to be in categorical data, and I want to create a new assignment. And so we'll call this notes quiz, or let's say two-way table. What this would, I could say, I could see a lot of use for this if you're using this as like a digital learning, or if you're using it for students who have been out that missed your quiz or missed your lecture. Then where I've worked out the examples in class and given them answers to it, I could create my lesson, record the video in such a way that where I give them an example to do, and they go to answer the question and then submit their answer, and then the next part I'm explaining how to do it, right? Or you could pose it and do an example and then have them do one, and you could actually take that for a grade to make sure that they were paying attention during class that day. A lot of different ways you can apply this. I'm going to create this assignment. Okay, and inside this assignment, I'm going to open it up now. This is not a quiz. It's an assignment. I think you could put a quiz and an assignment in the same way, but the key part is when I add how the students respond to this. This is the really important part. So here I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to edit my assignment. I can provide them with instructions on what to do. Take the quiz. I could say I want this to be worth 12 points. By the way, when you add points here, since there are a specific number of questions, it's going to divide up the number of points based on how many questions. So if I have 2 questions, and I give 12 points for that, that means I'm going to have 6 points per question. So be careful, it divides up the question point values for the whole assignment per question equally. I could check to put it in whatever category I want. We'll say this is a daily assignment. I'll have it displayed as points. Here is the key element. If you want to embed a quiz, a studio quiz, then I want to go down and choose external tool. Okay, this is a super useful thing. This is okay, let's go ahead and open that. So I have a couple of things that I can add, right? What I'm looking for is Studio. If you've created a quiz inside of Studio, or if you have a video inside of Studio, then it's going to open those options up. Here you can see all the videos that I have in my library, and you can see the 2 at the top. Oh, look, here are the 2 that have actual quizzes. So I can select this one. I can have a link, or I can embed the video directly, and I'm going to do that, right? So I'm going to click Embed. If you have multiple quizzes here, the drop-down menu allows you to pick the one that you want. So it's only had one. It's going to be that one. We'll select, and now it's ready to have you simply publish it. If you wanted to add your mastery paths to that, you can also do that based on their score. They would be directed to take another assignment or do some other kind of required assignment that you feel is necessary. We'll click Save. Once this is done, now if I want my students to do it, obviously I need to publish it first. But this is what it's going to look like. Now we're in the teacher view, so you'll get a few additional bits of information like the insights and the quiz results, which you will see all students. They will only see their own students. If you have captions turned on, or if you've created captions, if it's YouTube, they do their own captions, so you'll have to kind of work with that. But this is kind of like at the bottom view, it won't even have the text written out. If that's important, definitely you can definitely do that. Here, the 2A table basically has the title, the description that you put when you added it to YouTube, and the person who uploaded it, the YouTube link, and the actual date it was uploaded. And that's it. At this point, this is inside my module, and as students come to this, they'll click Get Started. They can either watch it in the window that it shows here, or they can click full screen and watch the entire video using their full screen. I'm imagining they're probably going to do this on their phones, so they're probably going to want to do that full screen anyway. But you can see here, the questions are popping up. Now they can click directly to the questions and answer them and skip all your content. Or you can have those questions hidden, and then they would have to kind of listen and watch the video as you, well, they don't know where the questions are. They can skip around and try to hit them, but if you put enough in there, they're probably not going to get all of them. So that way they would be forced to kind of watch the whole video. Okay, I really hope this helps. I could see a lot of great uses for this. So I hope this enriches your classroom. I'll see you next time.